We're back once again. Welcome to another edition. You know what it is. Pick 6 on the eve of the Thanksgiving games. Daniel Jones signing with the Vikings. All the other little minor stuff going on. Pick 6. So for this week, I'm going to focus mainly on the division games because I think most of the division games that happened were absolutely intriguing. There were wars, battles, all sorts of stuff happening with these division games. But before I start with the division games, the first game I'm going to focus on is an intriguing one because on the heels of Daniel Jones signing with the Vikings today, as many of you know, he was put to QB4. Might as well have just released him right after you did that. I don't know why they even did that. I thought that was pathetic. I thought it was so degrading and disrespectful. You know, as much as I feel Daniel Jones isn't a top-level quarterback or a mid-level quarterback, he's still a human being. And the way that the Giants organization handled the situation was another example of why the New York teams are pathetic. And as a brethren of mine said to me earlier, they're poverty franchises. This is a poverty move with no respect and no type of integrity whatsoever. So let's get to the first game, which is going to be Tampa versus the Giants. And I felt that was a very interesting game, to say the least, based on the merit of the situation that had happened earlier in the week. Of course, Tampa beating the crap out of them 30-7. And Tony DeVito starting for the Giants, who you might as well have had Danny DeVito start for the Giants. And you just look at this game from the beginning. It was just an embarrassment. It was just an absolute embarrassment. Like, I'm not going to spend too much time talking about this game, but I'm going to talk about it. Baker Mayfield had 294, no touchdowns, no picks. I mean, Bucky Irving had a rushing touchdown. White had a rushing touchdown. Baker Mayfield had a rushing touchdown. Tucker had a rushing touchdown. Pedestrian game for Mike Evans, 5 for 68 yards. He was averaging 13, almost 14 yards of reception. Like, come on, like, seriously? And then DeVito, 189, 0-0, sacked a bunch of times. I mean, Malik Neighbors got 6 receptions, 64 yards, all after they went up 30-0. They were down 30-0. So, like, come on, guys. Like, are we joking here? Are we serious? Like, what are we doing here? Like, let's be honest. Like, that was pathetic. And then Malik Neighbors with his fantastic post-game comments. And, of course, again, Monday with his comments. 11 games in, this guy wants out. Let's just look at it the way it is. 11 games in, and he wants out, you know? And he should want out. And this is a dumpster fire. A dumpster fire, and it ain't going to get better. You see what they have in New York right now. It's not going to get better. So don't boost your hopes, folks. This is not going to be good. It's going to get even uglier. Don't blame Daniel Jones. Don't blame the receivers. Don't blame the roster. Blame the guys on top. And I'll start with the owner, of course, Mr. Mara and the rest of the goons out there. They're the reason why this happened. But enough of that. Let's get to the next game in pick 6. This game was interesting. Thursday night special as far as I'm concerned. Division matchup in the AFC North. We had Pittsburgh at Cleveland. The snow game. And I can't lie. I thought it was fun watching it. Pittsburgh coming into the game 8-2, leading the North, and of course Cleveland, you know, fighting for their lives at 2-8. You know, the NFC North is always going to do that. You know, and Jameis Winston, who has been a highlight for the past couple of weeks in the NFL with his pre-game, during the game commentary, which was fun. Russell Wilson, of course, 21 for 28, 270, 1 touchdown, sacked 4 times. Not too bad. You know, he had a good game. This is typical classic Russ. Najee, 41, 16 carries. Warren, 11 rushes, 45 yards, got a touchdown. Russell had a couple. Austin had a touchdown. 3 receptions, 78 yards, 1 touchdown. Funny enough, I benched him in my fantasy league, and then he gets one. Every time I bench this guy gets me something, whether it's 100 yards or... But anyways, I did win that week in fantasy, so I'm okay with that. But nevertheless, Jameis Winston, he threw an interception, had 219, but also had that famous rushing touchdown that's been highlighted all over social media, all over TV, pictures are amazing. Whoever did the photography, or photographers that did the photography for that particular moment, amazing photography. That's a picture that you'll see forever, and you'll be like, damn, that was just amazing. So again, Pittsburgh goes down to Cleveland 24-19. I mean, it was just one of those games to watch. Next game in the pick six, folks. Overtime, Minnesota 30-27 over the Bears. Shouldn't have went to overtime. I feel Coach O'Connell got cutesy again. He's got to be more aggressive. I mean, he is the player's coach. He is the ultimate motivator, but he's got to be cutthroat. Like, I just feel like he's still missing that cutthroat mentality. Vikings went to 9-2, Chicago 4-7, but I think the biggest takeaway from this game was the development of Caleb Williams. I mean, I've never been a fan of his. I just felt like he was babied a lot in college. But this particular game, he came out and he demonstrated a lot. Some of his throws were masterful. Like, whether you like him or not, he had some masterful plays. He demonstrated so much in this game. And he was able to do things, with whatever he had to his disposal. And I mean, Keenan Allen actually had a classic Keenan Allen moment, and it was just... You just look at it, he had 86 yards with 9 receptions for a touchdown. DJ Moore was 106, 1 touchdown, 7 receptions. It was just classic. But on the Vikings side, Jordan Addison 162 for 1 touchdown with 8 receptions. Hawkinson finally getting his wheels going with 114, 7 receptions. J. Jeff, 2 receptions for 27 yards, but he was good with it. The W was more important to him, and I just think that the Vikings need to learn how to be cutthroat. They're one of the best red zone teams in the NFL. They got a pedestrian quarterback in Sam Darnold, who's a C-plus quarterback in my eyes, but with the tutelage of Kevin O'Connell and the confidence factor of the team and the culture of the team, it's going to be all right. There might be a surprise with them in the playoffs, so we'll just keep our eyes out for that. The most quietest 9-2 team in the NFL, the Minnesota Vikings. Next team, New England versus Miami. Miami 34-15, win over them. Another quarterback that I'm going to talk about who I'm not a big fan of, but since he's returned from his concussion has been absolutely masterful. Tua Tagovailoa, man. Tua, man. I can't even sit here and throw any shade at you, brother. You've been playing well. Again, 317, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. You made plays on your legs. Waddle finally was alive for 8 receptions, 144, 1 touchdown, fantasy. Love it, baby. Tyreek Hill had only 5 receptions for 48. Etienne had 3 receptions, 24 yards, 2 touchdowns. Etienne also was pedestrian in the rushing game, but New England's defense in the front eight's pretty good. They just need a lot to go with. Drake May, come on, man, 22, 222, 1-1, 4 sacks. He's getting better. To me, I look at this more as a development game for the Patriots than anything else. But again, one of those grindy division games. You look at the score, they beat them by 19 points, but if you see some of the hits in this game, it was absolutely deadly. There was a couple of hits on Tyreek Hill in that game. I was like, is he going to get up? So 34-15, the Dolphins over the Patriots. The next game on my list, and I got to go to this one because I thought it was a good one. Texans and Titans. AFC South. Grind. Will Levis coming up. 278, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, sacked 8 times. That offensive line is putrid. Tony Pollard finally getting a 100-yard game with a touchdown with 24 carries. Calvin Ridley, 93 yards, 5 receptions. I mean, it was just one of those games, man, where it was just a division matchup. C.J. Stroud threw 2 interceptions, had 2 touchdowns, 247. He was sacked 4 times. Nico Collins got his. But again, division games are always going to be like this. I don't care what you say. Doesn't matter if the team is 1-8 going into week 10 or 11. Doesn't matter. They're still going to play. You saw it with Cleveland. You saw it with of course, Tennessee, who got the win. It's always going to be like that. And it's going to lead me to my next game, which is the final of the Pick 6. Dallas and Washington. Wow. If you had a chance to watch the last 6 or 7 minutes of this game, or even watch it on Red Zone, or watch the highlights via YouTube or any other streaming source, wow. Cooper rushed 24 for 32, 247, 2 touchdowns, no interception. Dowell had a decent game, 86 yards rushing, 19 yards. I mean, and then the receiving, CeeDee Lamb, 10 receptions, 67 yards. Shoemaker was 355, 1 reception. Sorry, 1 touchdown. He's not bad. He's a tough guy. Commanders, Jane Daniels, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 275, 25 for 38, sacked 4 times. That Jane Daniels had 74 yards rushing for a touchdown. Like, come on, guys. And of course, his boy McLaurin, still hot, man. 5 receptions, 102, 1 touchdown. Still balling. So, you know, again, a division game. But the takeaway from this game for me, folks, was special teams. Those last 3 or 4. I saw the Turpin touchdown live, and it was like he catches the ball right at the goal line, drops it, picks it up, runs, turns around, spins, and then scores the touchdown. Like, that was crazy. And then again, the kickoff, after they missed the extra point, Washington, to potentially tie the game. So, again, division games just have this special to it, and this was one of them. So if you're a Dallas fan, I have to say, hey, man, it was one of those games that you needed to win. You know, you're moving on to your Thanksgiving game against the Giants tomorrow. We'll see how that goes. But any notable mentions, I gotta say the Chiefs and Panthers. And I'm not even going to talk about the Chiefs because the Chiefs should have won this game. But my notable mention from that game, which wasn't picked in the Pick 6, is going to go to somebody that I feel is finally developing. Bryce Young, 263, 1 touchdown. He had some great plays on his feet. He found his receivers. He was confident off the pitch. He's going to be something. Finally, he's able to get his feet moving, and that's all I got to do. That's my notable mention for Pick 6. So, ladies and gentlemen, again, another edition of the Pick 6 podcast. You know where to go. The Pod Show by Beatfakmusic. Just type it in. It's there. All you got to do is put Beatfakmusic, BEATFAKMUSIC. Just type it in. Google. Boom. It's right there. It's not a hard find. So, ladies and gentlemen, once again, this is another edition of You Know What, the Pick 6 podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, enjoy. And if you're going to be watching these Thanksgiving games tomorrow, enjoy those too. I'm out. Peace.